Alright, David Harry here, and what it is, I went out earlier today to do a preliminary test with the GoPro Hero 8 Black, and very specifically I was doing a prelim test just to see how the GoPro responds in completely automatic mode as far as its colour reproduction and exposure and whatnot is concerned. But because the actual test I think was very interesting on a number of levels for people who want to know what this is like used completely in automatic mode, I'm going to put it up live and not necessarily as a preliminary test, because I think it's going to give people a little bit of an insight as to how the Hero 8 Black responds when in fully auto mode. So just to be clear with this test, it's actually designed for people, more so for people who vlog and people who don't necessarily have like a lot of technical skill and understanding of post-production and whatnot, where like you would normally kind of like sweeten pictures up and do various other things like that. So this is very, very much kind of like, pointed in the direction of those who just want to do very simple vlogging. They don't have a great technical understanding of like how to set picture balances and stuff to do with like exposure, white balance and all that. And most certainly people who don't particularly either want to mess around in post-production, or people who don't necessarily understand the whole post-production process, to a great degree. So like I say, this is an out-of-the-box, fully automatic setup. It'll be explained as I go through anyway, so I won't do any more yammering on now. And the setup that I used was this. So it's basically the GoPro 8 Hero Black inside one of these little cases. I've just done a video about that, and I've literally got a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus on, and it's kind of a little bit botched with the older mic interface hanging off the back of it. And if you're interested in stuff to do with the microphones, like with this setup and whatnot, I'll be doing a whole bunch of tests and proper vlogging with it, like a setup like this for the GoPro 8 Hero Black, so call back and whatnot. There'll be details in this video as it gets to the end on like, my URL and whatnot and all that kind of thing. Anyways, here's the video, and hopefully it's of some use to give people a really good idea as to what this camera really does respond like in fully automatic mode. Alright, David Harry here, and this is just going to be a fairly short prelim test, and this is quite specifically testing just to see how well the GoPro Hero 8 Black responds in completely automatic mode. So everything right now is totally automatic, and I'm in GoPro Color as well. And the reason why I'm in GoPro Color is because GoPro Color is basically, that's going to be your standard gamma response for like Rec 709. I'm assuming it's Rec 709 and not 2020 that the GoPro records when it's in 4K. And the reason why I'm doing it like this is because for most people, they don't want to be using Protune, and they don't want to be setting all kinds of manual levels when they're doing vlogging, because when you're doing vlogging, you have to have the camera being something that you don't have to worry about. So you should just be able to get out there and just switch the camera on and go for it. Now obviously you will get better results if you start applying manual control to any camera. But when you're vlogging like this and you're in front of the camera and whatnot, and you're going to be moving in and out of different lighting conditions and maybe going in and outdoors and all that kind of thing, there is absolutely no way you can do an effective vlog if in the back of your head you're just worrying too much about the camera, and you're constantly aware that you have to keep changing things or putting ND filters on or altering the EV or altering shutter and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, if you're behind the camera and you're like just controlling it, pointing stuff, and you're not talking into it and vlogging, then by all means, yeah, you do all that, and that is wholly necessary in order to get the best results. But what I'm doing right now is testing it in a position where your average user would be wanting to use it, as in completely automatic. And the reason, like I say, that I'm using the GoPro Color is because it should be replicating the standard Rec 709 gamma. The problem is when you start going to Protune and then applying like the flat color and all the rest of it, the problem with that is it uses one of those kind of weird log curves for the gamma, which definitely does require some messing about in post-production with it. Now the problem with that is, once again, your average user doesn't even know mostly any of these things, let alone be able to do them. So this is the reason for this quick preliminary test, is to show people who just want to pick up the GoPro Hero 8 Black and go out and use it, what it definitely looks like. Now, it's not overly bright, it's quite cloudy and stuff, and as you can see, I'm walking around in a circle here, and I'm kind of going in and out of shade because just here there's a bunch of trees. So in fact, let me get into like some pretty dark areas here. Okay, now right now where I am is very dark, and yeah, you know, we're going to be expecting a lot of gaining going on here and possibly a lot of noise as well. Okay, so I'll just do a little walk through here and then I'll walk back out. The reason why I'm doing this again is because it's typical of what people would do when you're vlogging. You know, you don't necessarily always know where you're going to be and what the conditions are like. So you really do need to be able to just hit record and go for it without worrying about anything to do with the camera. Okay, so that was like very dark where it was then, inside all them trees and stuff. So what I'm going to do is come back out of the shadow of the trees, and hopefully the sun comes out of the clouds a little bit. I mean, what would be good if I can get the sun kind of blasting a bit as well, and get an idea of what that's like. Okay, so I'll kind of carry on talking as much as I can without going into repetition whilst I'm trying to wait for a bit more light and whatnot. The other thing as well here, I'm testing for the audio recording at line level, which isn't normal for the GoPro, especially with, like, you know, well, nearly every external microphone. What it is, line level would normally be used if you're using a pre-amplified signal, or if you're getting a signal coming off a mixing console. So what I've done right now, in order to see if this is quite possibly the better way of recording, actually the sun's coming out a little bit more again, what I'm doing here is I've got the Video Mic Pro Plus in its plus 20 dB gain mode. I've also got HF boost on as well because I've got the dead cat on, and I think it just helps it a little bit just to bring back some of the higher frequency stuff that may go missing otherwise. Now, in plus 20 dB gain mode on the microphone, it does put out a very healthy signal. Now that signal is still not enough, like, you know, to drive an input at line level. But what it will do is give us, you know, the loudest signal we can probably get at the back end of any microphone. And then what I do is use the LoudMax plugin to gain that furthermore in post in order to bring it up to an appreciable level. So what we're being hearing here is that level gained up. In fact, what I'll do right now, this is the level exactly as it went in. So you can hear how low this is. It's very low, but it's not as low as most microphones without a 20 dB, you know, 20 dB boost on the back end of the mic. So I'll go back up again. So I'm back up to the limited level. Okay, so I think this should have given us a pretty good idea of the GoPro Hero 8 Black out of the box, as it were, all totally automatic and in GoPro Color, so no faffing about in post for those who either don't know how to faff about in post, or more importantly, don't want to be faffing about in post. Because the other thing with vlogging as well, you know, you want to just get out there, do your stuff, get in, do a quick edit, and then shove it out, put it on YouTube or wherever it's going. You know, all this kind of like fixation with, like, you know, grading and stuff and all that. Pfft, who wants to be doing all that stuff when all you want to do is get out, get to say what you want to say, and then throw it up as fast as possible? So hopefully this should give us a really good idea of what the GoPro Hero 8 Black is like in these fully automatic conditions, and hopefully the audio sounded pretty tasty as well. Okay, so I think that's about done it for this particular prelim. I'm not entirely sure if I will have put this live on my YouTube channel. It's on my YouTube channel, but quite often I put stuff on my YouTube channel and then link externally to it. And it definitely will go into my prelim list. Now, whether it's gone properly live or just in my prelim list, yeah, I'd appreciate some comments on this. Let me know what people think about these things, and if maybe it may hopefully have helped people. Sun's come out a little bit more again. What I will do, I'll have to wait until we have some really bright, blasting, sunny days, and I'll reproduce this same test again. It's gone very breezy now as well, so we'll get a good idea of what the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus is doing with its dead cat on. Actually, the sun's come out quite a bit there, so what I'm going to do, that's the sun right in front of me, so we'll see what that's like for the exposure. I'll do a little bit of a turn around here and end up with the sun behind me. Okay, so there's the sun behind me. It's not the brightest it could be, but it is brighter than what it had been before. Okay, and I'll spin back around again. All right, so that should definitely give us a really good taster of what all this is like in completely fully automatic mode. All right, so anyway, I'll dive off and leave it at this for this particular test. But like I say, no matter whether it's gone live or whether I've posted somewhere else, if people who've watched it, if they could give us any comments on it, because it helps me then as well to kind of perfect certain things to show to other people on future videos. And if you like any of this stuff that I'm doing with the GoPro thing, and especially the GoPro 8, if you visit www.gopro9.com, you'll get access to all my videos either via a playlist or through a website. Anyways, I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.